Welcome to the Wife Stories YouTube channel. New video every day, and don't forget to subscribe. Here we go.
The water in the shower is running, but I'm not in the bathroom. I'm standing in the hallway, staring at the half-closed door, listening to the hiss of the water spraying against the tiles. There's a steam-slicked mirror in there, condensation dripping onto the sink. My toothbrush is in its usual place by the faucet, the same as it's been for years. Her floral-scented shampoo is lined up next to my generic men's body wash. Two towels, mine and hers, hang from the rack, damp at the edges. But I'm not the one who turned on that water. I'm not the one about to step inside. I stand very still. My heart should be pounding, but it's not. It's as if I've gone numb from the inside out. The rest of the apartment is dead quiet. The overhead lights in the living room are off. My workshop door is closed, and a few faint city noises leak in from outside. It's evening, not late, but dark enough that I can see my reflection in the window if I glance that way. Instead, I focus on the swirl of steam escaping the crack of the bathroom door. I know what's happening in there. They're rinsing off the residue of their guilt. Maybe he's pressing her against the tile, water streaming down their faces, erasing the traces of each other's sweat. I can't see them, not physically. But I don't need to. I've already seen too much. I close my eyes, and the images flash in my head. The photos that popped up in my cloud storage this afternoon. My own laptop, in my own workshop, a random sync that revealed pictures of her, in lingerie, in some expensive hotel room. Wearing a look on her face I've rarely seen her wear for me. Her eyes were half-lidded, her hair undone, and she was arching her back against a man with a broad chest and tanned arms. She was smiling in one shot, head thrown back, letting him run his hand down her spine. The next shot was more explicit, close-up details I never wanted to share with another soul, yet here she was, sharing them with him. At first, I thought it must be a joke, some digital glitch. Then I saw the date stamps. I recognized the faint reflection of a window in one shot, skyline shimmering behind them. A fancy suite in New York, or maybe some high-end place in Chicago I didn't know. She was visiting him. She was living a life I knew nothing about. I discovered them by accident because she forgot to sign out of my cloud account on her phone. Or maybe she never suspected I'd check. I was at the workshop all day restoring an antique dresser for a wealthy client who wanted everything perfect by next week. My phone was set to auto-sync so I could seamlessly transfer project photos. Then these images came through, one after the other. I can't recall how long I stared. Time turned into a black hole, swallowing my sense of reason. Then, eventually, I breathed again. I had to find out everything, piece by piece. I set up my laptop to record the screen. I pointed my small webcam, usually used for client calls, toward the front door. I clicked record. Then I left. No note. No text message. I wanted her to walk in, see my laptop open, see those pictures displayed in plain sight, see me there on the screen. A silent witness, unblinking. I wanted to watch her reaction from the safety of my workshop, or maybe from my phone while I sat in my truck. I wanted her to notice how my eyes stare at her body in those snapshots, how my mouth twitched with every new angle. I wanted her to realize that I knew. Then I wanted to see what she would do. But I miscalculated the time. She arrived home earlier than I planned, and apparently he came with her. The nerve. They must have seen the laptop, the open window with those pictures. Maybe they panicked. Maybe they tried to close the browser. Maybe they realized I'd set up a camera feed. There might have been confusion or frantic whispers. I'm not sure how they ended up in my bathroom, in my shower, together, like they owned the place. But they did. Now I'm standing outside that door, hearing the water run. My mind is a storm of images and half-coherent thoughts. I can practically taste the bitterness. Anger, heartbreak, humiliation. They swirl inside me like a flash of lightning. My fists clench. For a split second, I imagine kicking the door in, confronting them in a cascade of wet tile and shrieking curses. I even see myself hurling a punch at that tan-faced bastard, maybe seeing a spatter of blood swirl down the drain with the soapy water. But I don't move. Something in me refuses to give them that display. Something in me wants to go deeper, darker. Slowly, I step back from the door and let the hush of the apartment swallow me again. I walk to the living room, pressing the button on my phone to stop the live feed. I'll watch it later, see how they scurried in. Let them think I'm not home. Let them do what they want, because I already know I have a better plan. I stand by the window and stare out at the lights of Chicago. In the glass reflection, I see my own face, white with tension, eyes hollow, lips pressed tight. It's like looking at a stranger. I catch myself remembering simpler times, quiet nights with Michelle, once upon a time. She'd curl up on the couch, reading some marketing article while I sketched designs for a new furniture piece. We didn't have big fights. We hardly even argued about money. We had enough to get by, sometimes more. We had each other, or at least I thought so. I walked to the kitchen. My laptop is there on the table, the screen dark. I know if I press a key, those photos will appear again. My stomach churns. Instead, I open the cupboard, take out a mug, and make instant coffee. The jar of grounds rattles as I twist it open. My hand is shaking, or maybe that's just the adrenaline. I fill the kettle, heat the water, wait in silence. Then I pour, stir, sip. The bitterness scorches my tongue, but I force myself to swallow. It's the taste of reality. The shower turns off. I hear muffled voices, a thud, maybe a laugh. The hairdryer clicks on for a moment and then stops. I wonder if they're wiping the fog off the mirror, looking each other in the eye, giddy with the thrill of this betrayal. I keep imagining her face. Michelle's face, the woman who used to greet me at the door after a long day, her smile so genuine. Now that smile belongs to him. The knowledge stings so fiercely I almost lose my grip on the mug. Finally, I hear them step out into the hallway. Their voices hushed. I stay in the kitchen, lights off. They must sense something is wrong. My truck in the driveway, maybe. The living room lamps unlit. Then a male voice, deep, Latin accent. "Let's just go," he whispers. She hushes him, tries to calm him, though her own voice is trembling. My pulse thrums in my ears. I hold my breath, waiting. Let them leave. I don't want to see their faces. Not now. The front door opens, then closes softly. And they're gone. I set the coffee mug down. My entire body goes limp, like the tension snapped all at once. I sink into one of the dining chairs, stare at the swirling pattern on the tabletop. The numbness recedes just enough for me to feel the raw sting behind my eyes, that humiliating burn that says you might cry, you might break. But I swallow it. I'm not giving them that. Not in this moment. I wait 5 minutes, maybe 10. Then I grab my laptop and open the archived footage from earlier. Sure enough, there's a short recording, the moment they entered, the panic in their eyes when they saw the explicit pictures on the screen, my face on the recorded loop, just sitting there in silent condemnation. He's tall, muscular, with slicked back hair. She's trying to reason with him, but you can see how her hands shake, how she's pressing her phone to her chest. She might be thinking I'm on the other side of the door, or I'm about to call the cops, or God knows what else. Then they hurry out of frame, presumably to the bedroom or bathroom. I watch it once. Then I click pause. Enough for now. I pull up a new browser window and open the site I've been building since that first wave of fury took hold. It's nothing fancy, just a few lines of code, some placeholders for images, a minimal layout. But it's enough. Enough to display her personal portfolio, featuring the worst of what she shared with that man. Screenshots, images with timestamps, quotes from messages if I decide to add them. I'm a furniture restorer, not a web designer, but I've poked around enough to figure out how to do this. My heart thrums with a cold, methodical focus as I type. I'm not even trembling anymore. This is my version of smashing plates, my version of screaming. I'll do it quietly, with precision. I upload the pictures. The progress bar creeps up, and with each percent, I feel an odd sense of calm. I attach a few lines of text. Her name, some claims about her services. I had a phone number that used to belong to her old promotional flyers from her marketing gigs, plus an email I know she still checks. My mouth tastes bitter. Part of me wonders if I truly lost my mind, but I can't stop. Once the images are up, I craft an email. Simple, direct, with a link to the site. Then I comb through her contact list, old clients, friends, family, people she networked with for new marketing contracts. I gather them into a mailing group. My finger hovers over the mouse. Do I really want to do this? And the answer in my head is, she replaced me. She made me worthless. She can deal with the fallout. I click send. I let out a sigh, feeling something shift inside me, like I've thrown a switch I can't unflip. There's no going back. This is how I fight back, how I show her, and him, that I won't be quietly cast aside. Let the shame engulf her. Let her scramble, try to delete it, try to salvage her reputation. I close my laptop, stand up, and toss the cold remainder of my coffee into the sink. Then I head for the bedroom. The sheets are still unmade. I smell a faint perfume that's not mine. The bed is messed up in a way that suggests more than sleep happened here. My jaw clenches so hard my teeth ache. For a second, I consider tearing the sheets off, throwing the mattress out the window. But I don't. I just step back, open the closet, pull out a spare blanket, and lay it on the couch in the living room. That's where I'll sleep tonight. Sleep. If it ever comes. I don't turn on the television or open my phone. I just lie there, in the dark, staring at the ceiling. Time drags on, and eventually I must doze off, because I jolt awake at the sound of my phone buzzing. It's well past midnight. I glance at the screen. 20-something missed calls from Michelle. A few messages from unknown numbers. A couple from old friends. People we used to see at parties or holiday gatherings. The entire digital world is lighting up, and it's all because of me. I check the messages. Jack, what the hell did you do? Dude, call me ASAP. This is crazy. Is your wife's site hacked? This is messed up. And from Michelle. We need to talk. Please pick up. Please. I don't respond. I set the phone aside and let it buzz itself to death. Eventually, it stops. Silence returns. Around 2 in the morning, I hear scratching at the door. Then a cautious knock. Jack? Her voice is small. I can picture her standing there, phone in hand, hair probably still damp from that shower. I don't answer. Another knock. Jack, please. I remain on the couch, forcing my breathing to stay even. If she listens carefully, she might know I'm only pretending to be asleep. But she doesn't come in. Instead, I hear her breath hitch, a muffled sob, and then she leaves. It's not tears I want from her. It's the knowledge that she can't ever fix what she did. I want her to suffer the way I'm suffering. Maybe that's cruel. Maybe it makes me a monster. But in this moment, I feel nothing but the raw urge to make her feel the humiliation I felt when I saw those photos. By morning, the site is everywhere in her small marketing world. People whisper, they'd message her, they message me. A part of me knows I've crossed a line into territory I never thought I'd see. I don't care. I get dressed, throw on a simple t-shirt and jeans, and go to the workshop. I have a half-finished dresser to restore. It belongs to some wealthy client who wants it done by next week. I slip on my apron, dust off my tools, and try to work. My mind, though, is a seething swirl. Every scrape of sandpaper reminds me of her touch on him. Every wear of the electric sander makes me think of the low moans I imagine they shared. I grit my teeth. I keep going, as if I can sand away my own rage. Michelle calls me 5 times before noon, leaves voicemails that start off pleading and turn to anger. Jack, if you don't take this down. I swear I'll. She doesn't finish. She just hangs up. Next, I get a text from an unknown number. "You're messing with the wrong person," it says. I guess that's him. Tony. The lover. The man who replaced me. I smirk at the screen and delete the message. Let him threaten me. He has no idea how deep my fury runs right now. Around lunchtime, I brew a pot of coffee in my workshop. A wave of exhaustion hits me like a hammer. My eyes burn from lack of sleep. I slump against the wall, let my shoulders sag. For a moment, I wonder if I should feel regret. Instead, I picture them in my shower, water streaming down their bodies, carefree and triumphant. I picture her letting his hands roam. I recall the pictures, the look on her face, pure bliss. My stomach lurches, my vision blurs with a wave of rage. No, I don't regret it. She arrives at the workshop a couple hours later, hair tied in a messy bun. Face pale. She's wearing a coat over her casual clothes, arms folded tightly across her chest. She steps inside, blinking at the sawdust in the air. "Jack," she says quietly. I keep my back to her, running a piece of sandpaper over the edge of a drawer. "What do you want?" My voice is flat. I don't look up. She steps closer, hesitates. "We need to talk." "Talk, then." She glances at the half-finished dresser, at the scattered tools. Her gaze darts around, trying to find something stable. "What you did. The pictures. Everyone has seen them. My clients, my family. Jack, do you have any idea?" "Don't." I snap, spinning to face her. My eyes burn into hers, and for once, she looks away first. "Don't you dare talk to me about what I did. This is because of you. You're the one who let some other man." I can't finish. My throat seizes up with the memory of those images. She doesn't try to deny it. "I'm sorry," she says, voice trembling. "It was just a mistake. It got out of hand. I never meant." "A mistake? Do you understand what you did? I found pictures, dozens of them. You used my cloud account. You didn't even log out." My voice cracks with a note of incredulous rage. Her eyes glisten with tears, but she tries to keep her composure. "I didn't do it on purpose. I never wanted you to find out this way." "Find out?" I let out a harsh laugh. "You think that's the part that matters? That I found out this way? You destroyed everything the moment you let him into our bed, or his bed, or a hotel bed. Hell, you probably let him into every bed but mine." She flinches. I feel a twisted satisfaction at the pain in her expression. She swallows. "I'm still your wife," she whispers. Those words cut into me like shards of glass. "Are you?" My lips curl in disgust. I don't think you know what that word means anymore. I take a rag and wipe down the dusty surface, ignoring the tears that start slipping down her cheeks. She moves closer, just out of reach of the tools on the workbench. "Jack, please." The sight. The pictures are humiliating. People think I've lost my mind. My boss from the agency. I don't know if they'll ever hire me again. I'm being blacklisted. They're calling me all sorts of names. I'm getting threats, and it's too much. I toss the rag onto the bench. "You think I care about your embarrassment? You gave yourself to another man and left me with nothing but humiliation. Now you get a taste of what I felt." My voice is cold. I look her in the eye. See the raw misery there, but also the flicker of guilt. "Good. Let it burn." She tries to steady herself. "Jack, I was lonely," she says, voice breaking. "I felt like you weren't paying attention to me anymore. You cared more about your workshop, your clients. I know that's not an excuse, but stop." I hold up a hand. "If you were unhappy, you talk to me. You go to counseling. You do something. You don't crawl into bed with some smooth-talking guy in a fancy suit." She chokes back a sob. "I didn't mean to destroy us. I just needed to feel something." I step away, the old floor creaking underfoot. "Go feel it somewhere else," I say quietly. "We're done here." She stares at me, mouth quivering like she wants to say something more. But she doesn't. She backs away, steps outside, and closes the door. I wait until her footsteps fade. Then I slump against the workbench and exhale a shaky breath. My hands are trembling again. My chest aches. But I can't let pity slip through. I can't. Not after seeing those photos. I stay at the workshop late into the night, ignoring calls, ignoring texts. When I finally drive home, the house is dark. She's either sleeping or gone. I step in quietly, flick on a lamp in the living room. The silence is thick. On the coffee table is her wedding ring, placed neatly in the center. I pick it up. It's still warm from her skin, or maybe that's just in my head. She left it for me. Maybe she's saying it's over. Maybe she thinks I wanted it back. Maybe it's her apology. I don't know. I set it down without another thought. The next days pass in a swirl of tension. Michelle tries to remove the photos, contacting web hosts, threatening legal action. But I was careful, distributing them in ways that pop up again whenever she manages to take one version down. I even create a fake Instagram profile in her name, uploading images from the same stash. I add little captions, sarcastic, humiliating. People comment. Some mock her, some are confused, some are horrified. She tries to contact Instagram support, but it's a whack-a-mole. Every time she manages to block one link, a new one appears. I see the meltdown in her texts. What do you want, Jack? You want me to beg? I will. Just stop this. I see messages from people in her social circle, colleagues. Michelle, are you okay? Have you lost it? What's going on with these posts? I read them with cold detachment. Maybe I've become addicted to seeing her suffer. A part of me wonders if I've gone too far, but the rest of me justifies it. She didn't care how far she went when she let him replace me. She walked into our home with him. She used my shower with him. She turned me into a fool. So no, I can't find it in me to stop. Eventually the tension escalates. I get a single call from a blocked number. I answer. Who is this? It's Tony, a man says in a low, controlled voice. Tony Garcia. I don't reply. He exhales. Look, man, I get it. You're angry, but you can't keep doing this. You're making her life hell. You're crossing the line into something you'll regret. Don't talk to me about lines, I say, voice low and deadly. You already crossed it the moment you touched my wife. He tries to speak calmly, like a man used to negotiations. We're grown men. We can settle this without destroying each other. I choke back a laugh. That's easy for you to say, because you've got no stake. You wrecked what I built, and now you want me to roll over. He sighs, the frustration seeping through. Michelle's not just some fling, all right. We had a connection. It got complicated, but that doesn't give you the right. I hang up. He calls back once, leaves a voicemail. If you keep pushing, I'll involve lawyers. You'll lose everything. Then silence. I delete it. 1 week goes by. 2. Michelle tries to reason with me again, but at this point I barely see her. She's left the house for days at a time, staying who knows where, maybe a friend's place, or even Tony's. Meanwhile, the scandal in her professional world grows. She posts on Facebook once a broken message. Someone is destroying my life. I don't know why. People comment with sympathy or confusion. I see that post and feel a knot in my stomach. My hand hovers over the like button. But I don't click it. That silence from me is deliberate, like an invisible middle finger. I go through my days almost mechanically, repairing antiques, painting cabinets, sanding down intricate details. The motions calm me, yet inside, there's a storm that never fully settles. Sometimes, alone at night, I can't sleep. I pace the living room, pick up her ring, set it down. I can't deny that a small part of me misses her laugh, her presence. But the rage overshadows it, devours it, because how can I share my home with a woman who gave herself so freely to someone else? The phone rings again one evening. It's her number, so I let it go to voicemail. Then I listen. Her voice is small, barely audible. Jack, I can't sleep. I can't eat. I'm looking over my shoulder everywhere I go. I hear camera shutters in my nightmares. If this is what you wanted, you have it. You've broken me. Are you happy now? There's a pause, then a trembling exhale. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I wish I could turn back time. But I can't. And I can't do this anymore. Something in her tone makes me uneasy. I call back. No answer. I text her. Where are you? She doesn't reply. Panic flickers in my chest, a faint but growing worry. Did I push her to do something irreversible? I paced the living room, phone clutched in my hand, cursing myself. Then my phone buzzes, a single text from her. I'm at the old dock near Lake Michigan. She writes, I just needed to see the water. Don't come. I remember that place. I used to fish there as a kid with my father. Then years later, I took Michelle there when we first moved to Chicago. We walked along the water, talking about our future. The memory stings. But I can't let the fear that she might be about to do something drastic pass me by. I head to the truck, heart pounding. The city streets blur as I drive. When I arrive at the dock, the sky is overcast, the water dark and choppy. I spot her silhouette at the end of the pier. She's hunched over, arms around herself, hair whipping in the wind. I get out of the truck, approach quietly. Her face is gaunt, eyes ringed with shadows. The wife I knew looks 1,000 miles away. What are you doing here? She asks softly, not looking at me. I had to make sure you're safe, I say. My voice sounds strange in my own ears. She lets out a hollow laugh. Safe? You've ruined me, Jack. I swallow hard. And you ruined us. She closes her eyes. For a moment, neither of us speaks, just the wind and the distant hum of the city behind us. Finally, she looks up at me. I get it, she murmurs. I crossed a line I can never uncross. I betrayed you. I broke your trust. But do you really want to end us by burning everything to the ground? My jaw tightens. I look away, at the water. Everything's already burned. She stands there, trembling. Her coat is too thin for the cold. I can see goosebumps on her arms. If you want me gone, she says, I'll go. But please, stop the leaking of the photos. Stop the Instagram. Let me rebuild what's left of my life. A swirl of conflicting emotions batters me. Vengeance, sorrow, a flicker of shame. Finally, I just exhale. Why him? I ask. It's the question that's haunted me the most. Why was I so easy to replace? She rubs her arms. He was new, exciting. He said all the right things. He made me feel special again. I know that's not fair to you. But it happened. Special. I echo, bitterness creeping into my tone. I gave you everything. My loyalty, my time, my name. A tear slips down her cheek. I know. I'm sorry, Jack. I can't undo it. But I did love you. Maybe I still do in some way. I don't expect you to believe that. I stare at her for a long moment, anger warring with the faint memory of tenderness. Then I reach into my pocket, pull out her ring. You left this on the table. She looks at it, eyes filling with tears again. I figured you'd throw it at me, or sell it. I hold it out. Take it, I say quietly. It doesn't mean anything to me anymore, but it might remind you of what you destroyed. Her hand trembles as she reaches for it. She stares at the ring, then nods, slipping it into her pocket. The wind whips her hair across her face, and she turns away. Are you done with your revenge now? She asks in a subdued voice. I take a step back, feeling the rough wood of the dock under my boots. I picture the website, the posts, the humiliating messages. A swirl of guilt churns in my gut. I've archived everything. I say, I'm not actively posting more. Let's leave it at that for now. She closes her eyes, relief flickering across her face. Thank you. We stand there a moment more, silent. Then I turn on my heel and head back to the truck. I don't ask her if she wants a ride. Part of me wants to comfort her, to cradle her against me. Part of me wants to push her into the cold water for betraying me. So I do neither. I just leave. Days pass. I continue my routine, restoring furniture, ignoring calls from people who want to gossip, ignoring the occasional text from Tony. I keep a low profile. Michelle vacates the house, leaving behind some clothes and personal items. She moves in with a friend. I hear rumors that she's been on the verge of a breakdown, struggling with the wave of shame. A smaller, more decent part of me wonders if I should call her, if I should help. But I don't. I feed on the notion that she can handle her own consequences. One afternoon, I log into my email and see new messages from potential clients. Good. Business is picking up. Then I see a strange email from a name I recognize as one of Michelle's old coworkers. The subject line simply says, "You should see this." I open it. There's a link. I click. My browser opens a public Facebook post from Tony Garcia. It's a long, self-righteous text about immoral revenge tactics and how certain individuals resort to cowardly defamation when they can't handle the truth. He never names me, but the implication is clear. It's a PR spin, painting me as some insane husband who unleashed a smear campaign. He ends with a polished statement about how he regrets the situation, but stands by Michelle as she tries to rebuild. Meanwhile, the comments range from supportive, "Stay strong, Tony," to vicious, "The husband is a monster." My jaw aches from grinding my teeth. My phone buzzes. Another unknown caller. I answer, half expecting Tony's voice. But it's an older man's tone, gruff and hesitant. "Is this Jack Miller?" "Yes," I say. "This is Michelle's father." A pause. "I think we need to talk." My stomach tightens. Michelle's father, Charles, never liked me much, but we had a cordial relationship. I suspect he's calling to ream me out for humiliating his daughter. All right. I manage. He clears his throat. "I'm not going to lecture you," he says. "But Michelle, she's in bad shape. Really bad. And I think she still cares about you. I don't know if you want to salvage anything, but you two need closure if nothing else." I swallow. "Where is she now?" He hesitates. "She's at my house in Seattle. She came here to get away. Honestly, she's shattered, Jack." A rush of conflicting emotions floods me again. My voice is quieter when I speak. "I can't fix her. She made her choices. I'm not asking you to fix her," he interrupts. "But I wanted you to know she's safe. She'll file for divorce or separation soon, I assume. But if you have any shred of feeling left for the woman you married, maybe consider letting go of the campaign. She can't move forward if this continues to pop up again and again." I'm silent for a long moment. Finally, I nod, though he can't see it. "I'll think about it," I murmur. He exhales. "Thank you. That's all I wanted." Then he hangs up. I stare at the phone in my hand. The numbness creeps back in. For the remainder of the day, I brood in silence. By evening, I pour myself a whiskey, sit in the living room, and open my laptop. The images, the posts, everything is still archived. With a few clicks, I could blast them across the internet again, or I could bury them. The thought that I hold that power is simultaneously heady and nauseating. I swirl the whiskey in my glass, watch the amber liquid reflect the lamplight. The days stretch on. Michelle doesn't return to Chicago. I hear from mutual acquaintances that she's living quietly with her parents, not working at the moment, considering therapy. Tony apparently remains in New York, dealing with the fallout of the scandal from his company. He might even face a corporate investigation for mixing personal affairs with business trips. My vengeance has had far-reaching ripples. It's everything I wanted, right? Then, one morning, I realize I feel empty, not satisfied, not triumphant, just hollow. I wake up to the cold side of the bed, the sheets that still faintly smell of dust, because I rarely bother washing them. There's a stale odor in the house, a sense that life has drained out. The ring is gone. The photo frame's turned face down. I get up, shower quickly, dress, and nurse a mug of coffee by the window. The city stretches out beyond, indifferent and busy. People are living, working, loving, betraying, reconciling, and I'm alone in this quiet space, the man who took an intimate betrayal and turned it into a scorched earth crusade. I open my laptop. My finger hovers over the folder of pictures, the link to the site. Then I methodically delete them. I remove the backups from the cloud. I close the social media accounts. It takes me over an hour to track down each instance, wiping them out one by one. The place in my heart that roared for vengeance is strangely silent now. Maybe it's the final stage. Acceptance. I can't say forgiveness. Just the acceptance that I can't keep fueling this fire. The damage is done. I can't unsee, can't undo. But I can stop stoking the flames. That afternoon, I pack a small bag and drive. I have no real destination, just the urge to get out of Chicago for a while. I pass the old dock where Michelle and I spoke, but I don't stop. I head on to the interstate, crossing state lines, feeling the hum of the engine beneath my hands. Wind rushes past. The city recedes in the rearview. My mind drifts to memories. The first time I saw Michelle walk into my workshop, the day we decided to move in together. The moment she slid that ring onto her finger, tears of joy in her eyes. Then the moment I discovered those photos, that precise, excruciating heartbeat where everything changed. Late at night, I pull into a motel off the highway, check in silently, and collapse onto the worn bed. My mind replays the last few weeks in broken fragments. Her face in those pictures, the scorn in my eyes as I watched them, the tears in her voice, the phone calls from the father, Tony's arrogant threats, my unstoppable rage. It's all become a swirling mosaic of regret and anger. I sleep restlessly and wake just before dawn. Outside, the sky is a pale orange. I find a nearby diner and order a black coffee, then walk back to my truck, sipping it carefully. The bitterness tastes different now, less like rage, more like the aftertaste of morning. I realize that the essential truth is this: she betrayed me, and I exacted my revenge. We both lost. There's no victory left to claim. I get back on the road, driving without direction. The miles blur, farmland rolling by on either side. Sometimes I think about the future. Will I sign the divorce papers? Will I ever see her again, or speak to her with something other than hatred in my tone? I don't know. The only certainty is that the man I was before, naive, trusting, dedicated wholeheartedly to my marriage, he's gone. In his place stands a man who's tasted betrayal and inflicted pain in return. A couple of days later, I return to Chicago. I pull into the driveway of our house. No, my house now. The outside looks the same. The inside feels hollow. I step through the door, set down my bag. The first thing I notice is the quiet. It's almost eerie. The second thing is her wedding photo still hanging on the wall. I'd forgotten to take it down. In it, we're both smiling, locked in a blissful moment forever. Part of me hates that photo. Another part of me aches for it. I approach it slowly, run my fingertips over the glass. Then I lift it from the wall and tuck it into a box in the closet. I can't look at it anymore. Not now. Maybe never. If a day comes when I can remember the good without the bad, I'll revisit it. For now, it remains a memory too heavy to bear. After that, life settles into a pattern of sorts. I sleep, work, drink coffee by the window, tinker in the workshop, occasionally get calls from prospective clients. A month goes by. Then I receive an envelope in the mail from a law office. Divorce papers. I open them, read the standard language. She's not contesting property. She's effectively giving me the house, the workshop, everything. Maybe it's her final apology. I think about it for a day, then sign. I mail them back. That's the official, legal end of us. One morning, I realize I haven't thought about Tony or the pictures in weeks. It surprises me. The rage that used to flare up in my chest is now an ember, cool, and mostly gone. I think about Michelle, wonder if she's still living with her parents or has found a new place. The swirl of heartbreak remains, but it's distant, like a scar. I start to see that not all pain is visible. A man can walk around, drink coffee, talk to clients, and still be eaten alive inside. People ask how I'm doing, and I say fine, because that's what you do. The world goes on. On a crisp Sunday, I step outside onto the porch with my coffee in hand. The sky is bright, the air cool. I close my eyes, exhale a long breath. For the first time, there's a sense of peace in my chest. Not happiness, too soon for that, but quiet acceptance. I can almost feel the city's heartbeat, steady and inevitable. I realize I'm still here. I'm alive. I might be battered, but I'm standing. I drain the last of the coffee, let the sun warm my face. This is my life now. Flawed, cracked open, rearranged. Michelle's voice still echoes in my mind sometimes. Tony's threat rings like a distant echo. But all of that is behind me, locked away in those images I once unleashed. I close my eyes. I imagine her somewhere far away, flinching at every camera flash, every phone notification. She might be fighting to reclaim her sense of self, to figure out who she is after all the pain. Let her. I won't stand in her way anymore. Let her scream inside, the way I used to, because I'm finished screaming. I'm just done. I open my eyes to the bright light of day. Set the coffee mug on the porch rail. Breathe. I never asked for this war, but I fought it, and now it's over. There's an odd, hollow calm in that realization. Maybe that calm is all I have left, and maybe it's enough for now. I head back inside. The door closes softly behind me. There's work to be done, a new commission waiting in the workshop. I'll lose myself in the sanding, the painting, the patient craft of making old things whole again. It won't fix what's irreparably broken between two people who once said, I do. But it'll keep me moving. And maybe that's the closest thing to peace a man can hope for, after betrayal and revenge have run their course. I let out a breath, pick up a worn piece of sandpaper, and begin.